Welcome to the Intuitive Therapist Podcast with Janis R. Cohen, therapist, clairvoyant, empath, and medium. Listen in as she takes a no-nonsense deep dive into real human struggles and how to resolve them. Janis will share channeled information from her spirit guide team, as well as the angels and archangels, to help you master your emotional, physical, financial, and spiritual destiny. And now, Janis R. Cohen.
Hey y'all, this is Janis Cohen, the Intuitive Therapist here on the Intuitive Therapist Podcast. If I sound a little froggy, my allergies are getting to me. So it's fall here in Georgia, and we have the lovely fall allergy stuff going on. So forgive me. Anyway, we are back for another week, and I'm really excited to talk to you about this week's podcast. It was completely channeled. It was a really, really cool experience for me to put together, and it's pretty potent. So y'all sit down and get ready for this. So look, no one's path in life is ever straight. We all know this. And no one ever gets what they want. We always get what we need. And sometimes what we want aligns with what we need, and we get it. That's the truth about how the universe works. Every day, our faith is tested. And even if you're agnostic and you don't believe that there's a God or a higher source out there, which is totally fine, right? The world is made up of all different kinds of people, and who you are is just fine. Your faith is going to be tested, and maybe in the only way that you have it, in yourself. I speak a lot with my clients about how to look at life in a productive way. And what I mean by productive is that you don't just experience life, but you use it. You learn from it, you grow from it, you contribute in a positive way to others' lives and the world at large because of it. Recently, I did a psychic reading with a client, and we talked about this, how life isn't just meant to be felt or experienced, it's meant to be used. What most of us don't learn about is how to deal with adversity, grief, disappointment, loss, and rejection. I mean, we really don't. I don't know about you, but there wasn't a course in school or college or even graduate school that taught me real life skills. Everything was from a book. No course about how to date smart or how to really understand who you are and what you value and stand for. No course that teaches you how to manage money, handle the loss of a loved one, get back on course when your life falls off course or when it falls apart totally, or how to navigate a devastating breakup or divorce. There are no courses in any educational system about how to develop self-confidence, integrity, or the courage to be authentic. At least none that I've ever heard of. But there should be. There really should be. Life teaches us those things. Or maybe a truer truth is that life gives us the opportunity to learn these things if we choose to. And what's worse now is that the kids these days, they're so reliant on technology as a means of interaction and engagement with others that the days where you had only one of three options for communicating with someone, phone, in person, or snail mail, is almost obsolete to this young, new generation. All that said, everyone, and I mean everyone, wishes for and wants things in life in a way that they want them. And like I said, when your desires collide, mesh, and align with what the universe has in store for you, you'll have that desire met. So what does it mean when our desires are not met? Sure, the intellectual answer is that, well, it's not meant for us. And yes, that's accurate. But looking deeper into our unfulfilled desires, we find two sources. Either you've yet to fulfill your potential and alignment with that which is meant for you, or you aren't supposed to have that desire fulfilled. You're supposed to have other ones fulfilled. I can't continue without talking about this first part, that you're not living into your full potential, so your desires aren't met. And this is a really important piece to speak on today, and I'm being guided very heavily to make sure that I do. You see, we work in tandem with the universe. We have an unwritten partnership with the universe where we must be a part of and an active co-creator with the universe in order to fulfill our mission and to learn our lessons here on Earth. It's just how it works. That said, when you look at your life and the areas of your life that you feel aren't as you'd like them to be, what is it that you need to deal with in order to bring the desire to fruition? What do you need to work on, clean up, reconfigure, redefine, or change altogether so that what you want comes about? We all have reasons why we don't do things our hearts yearn for. And truth is, these are excuses, the reasons, right? And while you may feel less fortunate than others, maybe with time, energy, money, support, or any other resource that you think you need to achieve what you want to achieve, there's always someone who's even more unfortunate in their circumstances and resources than you. We indulge in these reasons and excuses because we aren't ready to face what we need to face to get what we want. And in order to get what we want, we have to do things differently. And we have to face our fears and shed light on our dark parts and deal with them. That's the only way to step into the new world that we want to create for ourselves. Doesn't it make sense? And there are hundreds of stories about how people have overcome insane odds to achieve success, fortune, fame, peace, calm, or anything else that they wanted to achieve in life, or anything else you could add to that list. People who come from nothing, people who have spent years sleeping in their cars, or people who come to the States not knowing the language and creating a life for themselves, a legacy, or people who have no money and go to work for free just so they can learn a trade and create a life of abundance beyond that. Or people who have physical disabilities, but who use their zest for life, their drive, to make a positive impact on the world. People who have experienced extreme violation, but who find a way to help other people have better, safer lives. People who have redirected their lives entirely out of their pain and lack and have tapped into their resilience and made their lives better. And all of these examples are from people I have known in my life. We can all lean back into our excuses, but the truth is, there are none. There are none that can justify you not living into your full potential or not achieving what you say you want. If you say you want it, you either mean it or you don't. Life is all about choices, and you're either all in with your desires or you're not. There is no middle ground in this part of life. Even when you choose to sit on the proverbial fence, you're making a choice. You're making a declaration. There is no one responsible for the quality of your life once you can think for yourself, other than you. And if people have no fucking resources at all, and if they can rise up and change their lives, what's your excuse? What is your excuse? Let me ask it to you this way. What is your choice? Now let's go to the second reason I mentioned. I want to talk to you about the universe, how the universe works when it doesn't fulfill your desires. The long and short of it is that rejection is protection and redirection. Anything that you're attached to, you'll be taught to let go of. Attachment is a key to experiencing pain. And if you're attached to someone or something, then that means your happiness is hinged on keeping it or having it. And nothing good comes out of that, does it? The other piece I want to mention is about having a desperation for something or someone. And we all know what that feels like. I've had that feeling of desperation in my life many times before I learned these truths. With circumstances, relationships, people, outcomes, The whole shebang, y'all. And nothing we have desperation for truly belongs to us in the first place. In fact, whatever we're desperate to have will always stay far away, out of our reach. Just like two identical ends of a magnet repel each other, so too does our desperation repel the very thing we want. When we feel desperate, we aren't truly ourselves. And when we aren't truly ourselves, we aren't living in faith, even if the only faith we profess to have is none. Lack of faith is the driving force for desperation, for depression, for helplessness. Developing faith in anything will help what you want come about. It will grow. So if you look back on your life with any type of regret, know this, that there is nothing to regret, just course corrections in thought, belief, and actions to be made. Recently, I was talking with a friend who said that she deeply regretted certain decisions she made as a parent. And my response to her was that regret isn't a part of what we're supposed to feel in our lives, even though I understand what she was talking about. We all want to be, if we are, perfect parents, but nobody is a perfect parent. Everybody makes major mistakes in their parenting, and we damage our children in some way. We all have decisions in our lives that we wish we didn't make, or circumstances that we wish we hadn't experienced, but we did, and the past is the past. So my question to her, and to any of you out there, is what can you do now, given what you know now, as this version of yourself, to feel good about the decisions you make now? And how can you look back on who you were and offer grace because you didn't know better? That the version who you were back then was the fullest version of yourself back then, and you made decisions from that version of yourself. We can all beat up on ourselves for not knowing better, but we didn't. And if we did, then we have to give ourselves grace for choosing not to do better. It's just part of life. So if there are any gaps in asking for forgiveness that you need to fill, then to whom do you need to ask forgiveness, and for what? Go and do this now so you can let yourself off the hook for the mistakes you've made in the past. Make your reparations. They matter. They change you, and they change the course of your life. When you ask for forgiveness, when you own up to your mistakes or pain you have caused anyone, it gives you the courage to make bigger, better choices in a more fearless state. Is this making sense to y'all? I hope so. We're not supposed to regret a fucking thing in our life, only to learn from life and use it to make better, more beneficial decisions for ourselves. And I don't know how many times I have to say it, but I will spend the rest of my life saying, if that's what helps you, it is true. And if you're ready to let go of what holds you back, excuse me, of regret, then you must adopt this disposition that I'm talking about and move forward in the ways that I have just outlined. If you want to look back at your life without anger and live in peace, then realize that the universe had to divert you and your soul planned for you to have all of these experiences, good and bad, so that you could choose better, so that you could choose to evolve. It's all about choice, people, and I will never stop reminding you of that either. So when life diverts you or lets you down, or when you're faced with a struggle or difficult decision, or you need to call on your resilience, you have a choice to make, and no excuses exist, ever. only decisions and choices. If you can fully own your decision to do or not to do something, to believe or not to believe something, to think one thing and not think another thing, then you will be right with yourself if you fully own those things. And you'll be able to look back at your road and all the broken parts, the potholes, the detours, and the off-roading completely, and be grateful for all the moments of your travels. So what do you choose? Do you choose to feel blessed or cursed? Whichever one you do choose, just know that your life will continue to give you evidence of whatever your choice is. Bless your broken road, please, and use your life experiences to create a better one, not one filled with regret, resentment, helplessness, and hopelessness. If you carry any of that for one more moment, you're screwing yourself out of a good life. You're screwing yourself out of a phenomenal life education. And you are absolutely, completely, 100% standing in your own way and sabotaging the very things you say you want. Remember, there are hundreds upon hundreds of people who would give their right arm to have what you have, to have the opportunities that you have, even the type of misfortunes you have, and the room to complain about what you complain about. They don't have that, but you do. So what do you choose? To bless your broken road or not? I hope this has been helpful. I told you it was going to be straight up. Spirit came through with a kapow, and I hope that it shook y'all into your senses, because that's really what I want for you. I want to shake things up for you, and I want you to really listen to the truth as I know it, the truth that's been channeled through me, the truths that I have learned in my life that have made not only my life better, but the lives of my clients. I truly believe that my life is here to learn, grow, and teach. Learn, grow, and teach. Learn, grow, and teach, as with yours. And any ladies, I'm going to talk to you about this continually until my program comes about, this live 3-part free mini-series called Destined for More. I'm going to have the live link up next time I talk with you so that you can register. But in the meantime, please hop on my website, like so many of you are doing, and get registered through my my report called The 5 Pillars That Will Help You Revolutionize Your Life. Send in your name, your email, and you'll immediately get access to this report that really will help you start changing your life and aligning with what is meant for you. So I wish you a blessed day, a wonderful week, and as always, live intuitively.
Thanks for listening to The Intuitive Therapist. If you like what you heard, the best compliment you can give us is to share this podcast with a friend, and be sure to give us some stars and a favorable review at Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen in.